Today in the crypto space, we see the market getting a nice pop to the upside. Bitcoin at about 68,500, up approximately 2%, and Ethereum is also up 2% at about 3,500. The rest of the crypto space, the altcoins are deep in the green. We have some good gainers today like Altcoin, Doge, Injective, Notcoin getting a nice bounce, AVAX and Solana, and many more. In today's video, I want to talk about the general market. I want to use Bitcoin as a leading indicator, but more importantly, I want to talk about one altcoin that is looking pretty good, and that project is called Delysium. So you know what? Let's talk about the news, let's analyze the charts, and let's strategize to capitalize. Welcome to the channel. My name is Mike, and let's get right into it, guys. If you're new to the channel, welcome on the channel. We talk about cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and all the altcoins, looking for opportunities. Whether we go up or down, bearish or bullish, it doesn't matter. All we want to do is stay one step ahead of the market so that we can capitalize on any of the volatility. And if you appreciate the strategy, subscribe to the channel, click the bell so you don't miss out on any of my future videos, including the live streams at 7:30 Eastern, where we talk about crypto news and price action. Guys, if you have any projects you want me to cover here on the channel, feel free to let me know in the comment section below. You can hit me up on the socials. The links are in the description. Better yet, guys, join the Discord. The Discord is where it's at. Lots of good alpha, trade setups, fundamentals, and learning material. The best part is it's absolutely free. All right, guys, let's begin. Let's see what's going on here with the top 100. Then we'll take a look at Bitcoin. We'll take a look at today's project, Delysium. And obviously, you can see that the general market currently is showing a bit of strength. We see Bitcoin getting a pop to the upside. Overall market cap is looking pretty good. Of course, Bitcoin rising up and the rest of the space rising up is pretty good. We see that the data, the interest rates holding steady, which is pretty good. At least we know where we're going in the next little while, which is sideways with regards to that pressure on interest rates, which is good. And all of a sudden we see the trading volume kind of slowly grinding to the upside. Obviously also good. We want volume into this market. So Bitcoin getting a nice pop today, Ethereum getting a nice pop as well, BNB and the rest of the market looking pretty good. We have Solana looking strong, and the rest you can see Altcoin flying to the previous price action, previous highs, and many other projects looking very strong. Even Tron coin going sideways, guys, not bad. Like I mentioned in the last little while, the reason why Tron gets volume is mostly because of the transactions for stables. This is something that was very tied to Tron, right? The stables, people transfer stables very easily in Tron, and a lot of the exchange, you have Tron as a network to transfer around those stables. We have Chainlink doing pretty good, Polkadot doing excellent, nice pops to the upside throughout the market, guys. Overall, the market right now is in the green. I would say give or take 5% on average, give or take. ICP doing good, and you can see Caspa ran up, but now getting a short-term pullback, and we can see Render and many others, Stacks doing good based off of Bitcoin, Filecoin, still at the bottom of the range, but still popped up. Injective, guys, Injective is showing a lot of strength in the last little while. And guess what? We talked about that yesterday. That it was exactly what I said yesterday on the live stream. It was the fact that Injective going sideways is a sign of strength. When we see the market recover, Injective should be a top performer. And what do we see today? Injective is the man of the match, up 15.5%. Great stuff. If you're a holder, congrats. But we're seeing a bit of volatility still. We could come back down, back test that breakout, and continue to the upside. We obviously have to track what Bitcoin is doing in the next little while, because Bitcoin is definitely has a lot of strength over what the market does, and so far so good. We have GRT looking pretty good, and many projects still grinding to the upside, getting a proof of life, a little bit of a pop up on those doing great. 7%. Theta Network, not bad. 8% to the upside, pretty good. Thorchain Rune has been grinding to the downside, and maybe this is an opportunity to consider building a position, given the fact that it's down 18.2% in 7 days. We know that when Thorchain Rune runs, it really does, with a lot of strength. So this is not bad. We see Brett kind of going sideways here after a great run to the upside. A bit of sideways consolidation is definitely due, and if we continue going through this market, you can see that generally speaking, a lot of these altcoins are up approximately 5%. And remember that narrative, that idea that I come up with is that, you know, exchange tokens, getting volume into an exchange token essentially means that the retail market is getting in. Why else would anybody be holding the KuCoin KCS token? Is to appreciate those rewards and those benefits of being a token holder. And it's up 6% today. So not bad there. And Multiverse X and the others are doing pretty good. So 5% gain, 5% pop to the upside, a nice little recovery with you know, around the market, which is good. But ultimately, guys, we have to look at structures, because really, although we are popping today, which is great, we, in order to maintain our bullish stance, especially in the altcoin market, we need to start showing a change of character in the trends, because as of now, we're kind of going sideways. We need a higher high and a higher low, and then a trend is our friend. All right, guys, I know you're here to talk about charts, so let's begin. Let's begin our analysis talking about Bitcoin. Of course, Bitcoin in the last little while has been going sideways, and it's been going sideways, and it's respecting TA. It's doing its thing. We got a nice pop to the upside, as you can see. Basically, staying above those horizontals is what we need, and of course, going sideways is going to give the altcoins an opportunity to run. Let's look at this in a little bit more detail, guys. Yesterday night, during the live stream, we closed the daily candle above the thick white line, and then as we were streaming, we were getting a bit of a green pop to the upside, and today was really, really good. Now, all of a sudden, we're seeing a bit of a sell-off, right? A bit of a sell-off. You know, the markets are very neutral, so I'm curious as to what exactly is happening with this sell-off. Sometimes after the meeting, they do have a post, journalists come out and start asking questions and start poking at some of the vocabulary that Powell uses. So maybe that's what's causing a bit of a dip, but nonetheless, guys, we're doing okay still. We are in structure. We are definitely in structure here. We are going sideways. Cup and handle, bull flag, big bull flag, whatever you want to call it. Guys, we're still okay. There's no real reason to get absolutely bearish at the current moment. So as long as Bitcoin is, within this big bull flag type of scenario, guys, I'm looking for opportunities to DCA. I'm not getting in a bearish stance just yet. If we break below down here, 61,000, 60,500 more or less, then different story, guys. Then we're going to have to get defensive. We'll wait for a retracement, maybe take a bit of profit on a back test, and then expect a continuation down. But at the current moment, there's no way I'm going to get absolutely bearish here. I'm going to be bullish, and I'm going to be looking for opportunities throughout this market. All right, guys, let's begin. Let's take a look at what's going on here with AGI. AGI is the ticker. The project is called Delysium, and Delysium has been retracing. And we've seen a lot of this structure throughout the market. The reality is, the structure coming down from a bearish move, right? A very strong sell-off with some sideways price action, and desperately trying to stay above the 200 daily. A lot of the bears are going to be calling this a bear flag. And I'm going to have to entertain this because that's a possibility. It's a possibility that after a sideways consolidation, we get a continuation to the downside. And although today was pretty green across the market, we have to understand what has been happening, prior to it. The reality is we made lower lows across the market. A lot of these projects have been making lower lows looking very slumpy, and today's green price action didn't really change too much. The reality is we're still in a lower high type of scenario. So I'm not being bearish here, guys. I'm not being bearish. I'm just saying that ultimately we still need to be careful with our entries. We need to make sure that we have stop losses underneath this structure, because if we break below the structure, we start coming down and we have empty volume gaps below. We can see that we have emptiness down here. There's a bit of price action right into here, but if you exclude previous price action, you'll notice that there's not much support into this pop to the upside. Very empty space, which means that we could come down to about 6.9 cents at worst case scenario. I'm interested to see what happens at about 1.7, 1.77, given the fact that we do have a bit of interest right into here based on previous price action. But to tell you the honest truth, it is not the most important zone. To be honest, I feel like we need to rearrange this and look at this in a bit of a different light, because really the weak spot stems from this current structure that we're in. If you look at the structure, really, if we break below, we can fall right down to this level, right? And there's looking left, we have a top, okay, fine, very low volume. We have all this right here, but nothing major. You can see the volume profile is not even giving us that indication that it's important. So let's exclude it for a second. Let's look at what's happening here. Let's try to give this some importance. We'll definitely trail up this this horizontal, make it a little bit more relevant by saying, look, if we break below here, you kind of want to get out, and you can see that it disrespected the 200 daily. So we can't even put some faith into that. We can't really use it too much because it already scrubbed it out, totally disrespected it. So who's to say that it's not, it's going to disrespect it again? It could be very possible. So we have to understand that the bears have a thesis. The thesis is that they're going to break down and they're going to fall through the volume gap, and then we're going to start coming down to horizontal supports, which is, you know, the next level. The big level is down here at about 6.9 cents. We have the point of control nearby. We have a lot of volume into this level. And then, of course, we're still dealing with this. We're still dealing with this structure. Now, let's look at the momentum. Momentum got definitely oversold. Volatility, the trend of momentum is coming down. The expansion got, you know, pretty down at that level. Now, do we come down further? Possible, but the volatility hanging down in oversold conditions suggests that at any moment, such as this, at any moment, we could get a nice pop and nice recovery back to overbought conditions. And that's where we'll get the pop to the upside and get that retracement back to previous highs, right? And the trend, still kind of bearish here on the daily. Although we did get some green today, you have to admit the green didn't really compensate for the negativity that we've been having in the last few days prior. And you can see the EMA is facing down in the red histogram bar. So although today looks really, really good, just be careful out there because it could be a bit of a trap. Okay, we got to be careful. Some of these altcoins are not looking the greatest. So what I would be doing right now is potentially understanding that we could come down here, which we already did. We wicked there twice by the dip. Right? If you would have bought that dip right now, you would have been in a good stance. You could have, you know, had an argument that we're above the 200 daily and potentially looking for that reversal. We come back down there, buy a little bit. We come down here, the great opportunity, buy a little bit. We build structure down here if we do come down right here, or even structure right up here. A W, inverse head and shoulder, cup and handle, Adam and Eve pattern, bullish divergences. We're getting in and we're building a position over time. With all that confluence and structure, we can put a stop loss underneath and build that position for a nice bounce to the upside. At the current moment, we're hoping this structure holds, and I understand the thesis to be buying the dip and to put a stop loss right underneath this horizontal, right around 17.4 cents. Because if we do fall, we're going to fall through the volume gap, and then we're going to be looking for another horizontal support to really hold up that price, and then we'll wait for structure again, and we'll get in with a bit more, and we'll DCA. Or if you're going to get in with a big bag here, just make sure that you put that stop loss in to mitigate that risk, because if you're getting in with a big bag or leverage, you have a lot to lose in that case. There's liquidation points, and of course overexposure will create that volatility, and then that way, you know, you can mitigate your risk by putting that stop loss. Risk to reward ratio is very, very important, and it could be that we come down for a sweep of the lows to get some people wrecked as well, that put those tight stop losses and then get a bounce right back to previous price action. Guys, you know, this project is doing pretty good. It's looking pretty good. A lot of talk about it, a lot of hype, but we need to make sure that we get in at a good level. At the current moment, rest assured, you're not buying tops, you're buying into a decent retracement. But the bigger picture, the bigger question is, are we going to get back into a lower a price where we get an A, B, C correction after a massive impulsive move? Let's see a failed breakdown, at least from the bears. Let's swing failure pattern. Let's come down, get back into the structure, and then respect the structure and get that bounce. But in the meantime, we got to get defensive. Okay, so not bad, not bad. So what am I basically saying? If we got into a trade setup, you can say, look, I'm going to try to get my entry as close as possible to invalidation. Invalidation is below the yellow line, and TPs can begin right around this level. You can see risk to reward is 5-1. Okay, and you can see that if we end up breaking out, you can take way more profit up here, and your risk to reward is healthy, and you're up 140%. We just have to understand that at the current level that we're in, the entry is not the best. Although if you plan on taking profit all the way up here, fine, it's not bad, right? You're still okay. 3.4 to 1 ratio. You're still up 100%. You're taking half on the double. But if we do get that dip, you'll have to understand that you're going to have to endure this little dip back to this level. And then what about if we come down for a lower low and break through? You're going to be taking a big loss. The percentage from this entry at this current moment to an invalidation point, you're looking at 26%. And if you don't put that stop loss underneath, you can fall right through that volume gap, and you'll have to endure a 72% dip. Massive, guys. You don't want to be playing those games unless your position size is absolutely tiny, because with the $10 position size, you're only losing $7, if you get what I mean. So really, it's about position size and mitigating that risk. And I believe this structure, if you're going to be taking risk on this structure, you should improve your entry by letting this fall a little bit more if it's going to happen. If not, guys, do your due diligence, understand risk, understand the reward, the ratio, and how important it is. And that way, you know, you can mitigate all this problematic price action down here if it does break down. Guys, if I've offered you any value in this video, do the channel a massive favor, slap the like button. It does really help out with the algorithm. If you want to follow me on the socials, the links are in the description below. Feel free to join the Discord, guys. The Discord is where it's at. Lots of good alpha, trade setups, fundamentals, and learning material. See you tonight, 7:30 Eastern, where we talk about crypto news and price action. Take care, guys. Have a good one. And don't forget, buy the dip.